This is an AK-47, and this is the song of its people. This is an AR-15, and this is the song of its people. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rugged Adventures. I honestly cannot believe that I haven't done an AK-47 versus AR-15 video yet, because it seems like you almost have to do that to end up being a legit gun channel. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at an AR-15 and an AK-47. This is an Anderson Arms. This is a Century WASR, the Wasser 10. I think I got this one for like under $300 back in 2003. I think it was the first gun that I ever bought. And so we are going to look at what kind of damage these can do downrange, what they will go through, because I could put these things in a bunch of dirt, I could put them in a bunch of mud, we could test accuracy, but I think it's pretty widely known that the AR-15 is a little bit more finicky, it's a little bit more precision, and so if you fill it with sand, dust, dirt, etc., it has a little bit harder time functioning versus the AK-47 that has very loose tolerances, is just known for reliability and always working. On the other hand, the AR-15 is generally regarded as more accurate, easier to use. It has less recoil. It has less massive parts going back and forth when you're shooting it, and it just makes it for an easier gun to operate and to get back on target when you are shooting. And so what I have today for us to shoot at, I have our 1 foot thick wood block that's downrange already. I'm not hefting that thing all the way up here. I have this this chunk of a bunch of these concrete blocks, these 4x8x16 concrete blocks. We're going to see how those do. And then I have 3 different thicknesses of steel for us to use, from 1/4 inch steel all the way up to 1/2 inch steel. And we're going to see what the difference is, because although these guns pretty much have the same purpose as being like an intermediate, just everyday rifle, they do have very different bullets. One is the 7.62x39, which everyone's probably very familiar with. This is your standard AK-47 SKS bullet. This is a 223 or 5.56 Remington, depending on which one that you have. There's some minor differences, but for the purposes today, it's going to be, they're the same. These do about the same job, but they accomplish it in different ways. This one travels extraordinarily fast. We're talking usually over 3,000 feet per second in the barrels that they test them in, which I think are usually 20-inch barrels, and we are using 16s. This one, on the other hand, travels around like 2,400 feet per second, but because of the difference in bullet size, this is a 123 grain bullet, I believe, and this is a 55 grain bullet, this one being almost 3 times the weight. This one actually is, on paper, delivers more terminal energy to the target than this one, but this one going so fast with such a little amount of frontal area, I have found typically penetrates things better. So let's put these things to the test, get them downrange, and see what happens. We're going to kick it off with the AR-15. Why? Because America, that's why. And also, if you see me jumping around, I'm also in a vicious battle to the death with wasps, because they decided they wanted to show up and try to ruin my day. So we'll try to put a round in the upper right of that wood block down there. We'll see how far this penetrates. Then we'll do the old AK-47. We've got this thing apart now, and I did end up hitting it a little bit lower than where I wanted. I was hoping up there, but hit it down here. That's the way it goes sometimes. So I hit there, and this is the first one. And then it went into the second one. It was still just kind of trucking away. The third board, again, just sort of moving on. And then in the fourth one, it really started deforming, and that looks like it right there, but that's not. That's from another day. Coming into the fifth board, we really start seeing this thing start tumbling and deforming. And then when we get into the sixth, you can see the tip of the bullet right there, and that is where it stopped in the sixth board. So AR-15 gets us 6 boards in. Let's see what the AK-47 does. Next up is our AK-47, and we'll try the same test. I'll try to put it in the lower left. We'll see how that goes. I actually just put on this this sight rail that attaches to the side and this new red dot. Neither of them are terribly expensive because that's the budget that this channel has. So if you guys want more expensive and nicer stuff, hit like, hit subscribe, grow the revenue of this channel. But if you guys are putting one of these on and you did buy one of these inexpensive ones, the thing that I did is I started sighting this thing in, and then this got really loose. So if you guys are putting this on, I tightened this down to the point where you could not flip the lever all the way forward with your hand, and then I actually just used a hammer to beat the thing closed, and so far that's kept it nice and tightly locked on there. And that's sort of one of the nice things about AK-47s is you can use a hammer on it and no one cares. Let's see how this goes with the board test, see if this penetrates any more or less the same. I don't know. That one almost, it looked like there was some debris that went out the back of it. I'm actually going to pop this one again, like try it right in the center to see if it's going all the way through. Or if I just maybe kind of shot it a little bit to the left. This is actually kind of surprising. I hit here the first time, which is, you know, to the left, but not as far as I wanted to be. And I hit here the second time, and you can see that this hole here is a little bit bigger than this one. That's a little 22. This is a 30 caliber entry wound. But when you go to the back here, we have two brand new exit wounds on this, and they're not weathered or anything. So I didn't show you guys a before picture, but you can see that they're not weathered like the rest of this block is from sitting out. So the AK-47 penetrated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of wood 1.5 inches thick and kept on going. So we have to give the first round up to the AK-47, and it's just higher levels of energy. Next up, we have the concrete block test, and those are just two of those 4x8x16 concrete blocks that I showed you guys earlier. I'll put one round into it to see what it does just with the standard round, and then we'll give her the beans and see how much it takes to destroy both of those blocks. AR-15 is first again, and it'll take the blocks on the left. So here's just the one. It does look like we blew a hole out of it. Let's go see what happened. Actually, let's just go ahead and put the AR or the AK-47's round down there too, and we can do everything in one fell swoop. This one will be on the right. And that already looks like it did a lot more damage. So with one bullet, we already have pretty dramatic differences here. Obviously, this one over here, the 5.56 with that small bullet going just blazing fast speeds, bored a nice hole in it, but spalled out the front, really didn't do much else as far as this block is concerned. Let's see if it went all the way through. And it did not. It was completely stopped by this block of concrete. That one is unscathed. On the other hand here, you have the 7.6239, slower moving bullet, much larger surface area, and more energy than this 5.56, and then it can put more energy into a bigger space, so that causes things to happen. Completely broke this one apart, as you can see, but did not penetrate the block. Let's open this thing up, see if we can find. That is as far in actually as the bullet traveled, only about what, inch and a half, something like that. But with the larger bullet, more energy, it was able to crack this thing completely in half, versus this one that you can see the bullet in there. I don't know if you guys will be able to. It's in about the same depth, but was not able to crack it in half like this one did. So it looks like the AK-47 is going to take this round too, and honestly, I'm pretty darn happy that I hit both of those dead center. But let's go ahead and just see what it takes to cut these things in half with each one of these guns. We have one in it right now, and we'll see how many more it takes. That's two, took it. So for us to really get that second one destroyed with the AR-15, we were looking at 9 rounds, I think, 9 or 10. I didn't have that earplug all the way in, so that was awesome. Let's finish this one off on the right with the AK-47. We already have one into it. Let's see what it does from here on out. That first one is gone. What are we at? 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 6 or 7 for the AK-47, and we are through. You know, it's been basically completely destroyed. All right, we have 1/4 inch plate here, 3/8 plate here, and 1/2 inch here. This is all regular steel. It's just carbon steel. It's not the AR-500 like those targets there, that target there, or any of the other targets that we normally shoot at. This is my prediction before we get started. AR-15 is going to punch right through that. AK-47 may not even be able to make it through that, but I won't say for sure. This one, AK-47, definitely not. Maybe AR-15. I think that's going to stop both of them. As a bonus, I also have some green tips that we can try on each of these out of the AR-15, and we'll give that a shot. And if you guys did miss my 5.56 green tip versus regular video, I'll put a link there up here. It's actually pretty eye-opening when we got into it to see exactly how much steel that it could get through. We're just going to keep things going with the AR-15 first, and then I'll shoot all 3 of them, and then we'll go to the AK-47. Here we go. Again, regular old 55 grain bullets, nothing fancy with either of them, no penetrators, no nothing just yet. The 1/4 inch. Looks like it went through. The 3/8. I don't know if that hit or not. I'll shoot it again. Definitely got it that time. 1/2 inch this time. And it doesn't look like that did anything to it. Pretty impressive results here. Like I expected, the AR-15 went through that one like butter. Actually with a much bigger hole than I would have expected. On this 3/8 here, it did not go through. It dented it really bad back there and went almost all the way through, but just couldn't make it. And again, like I said, a much bigger hole than I was expecting it to be. On the 1/2 inch, no surprise, did not penetrate, didn't really go too far in, but did dent the back. So we'll get the AK-47, give it a try. I've been up and down this hill like 40 or 50 times. This isn't just a YouTube video, it's a cardio workout too. So let's see if this does any better or worse than the AR-15 on regular steel. 1/4. I think that might have went through, I don't know. 3/8. 1/2 inch, I missed. I got it that time. I thought a bullet came back, but it was just it was a shell casing. Went over here, hit this light that you can't see. Came back and hit me. I was like, whoo, that was close. AK-47 right there. You can tell it's a little bit bigger hole and quite a bit bigger than the bullet. Went through it, no problem. Actually, on the backside of both of these, it almost looks like it was punched with like some sort of mechanical punch, and you can even see little pieces of bullet down there. On the 3/8 right here, it did not penetrate as deeply as the 5.56. I don't know if there's any good way for me to show you guys the depth of those, but on the backside, dimpled about the same amount as the AR-15. But no penetration. Unfortunately, on this one, I must have caught the corner of this thing. I can't imagine it would do any better than this, so I'm probably not gonna go shoot it again. Let's see if I can hit this piece with a green tip from the 5.56, and I'll also shoot this 1/4 inch to see if we had the same results that we had in the 5.56 green tip versus the standard full metal jacket. These are green tips. These are Winchester M 855 bullets. They're 62 grain bullets instead of the standard 55. They're going to be going a little bit slower because they are heavier bullets, but these are the penetrators. These are the ones that I used, this exact same box of ammo, in the green tip versus full metal jacket comparison video where we had some controversy if these were real, if they were any good, or anything. So we're going to compare them again directly as a little bonus to you here with these targets that we have here. So let's do it. We're just going to go across them like we did the rest of them. So the 1/4 inch plate, looks like that went through easily. The 3/8, got a hit on that, and then the 1/2 inch. We got the one on the 1/4 inch. Everyone expected that to go through. It left a lot of jacket on the outside here and was a little bit more jagged on the back end. I don't know if that's just because of the penetrator or just where it hit. But this is the funny part. The first time that I shot it, I hit right here in our old AK-47 hole, and it ended up, you know, coming up and going through the backside of that. I couldn't probably make that shot again if I shot, you know, 3 or 4 mags. But I went back up and shot it again. blasted it right there, went directly through, out the backside, pretty jagged hole there. And so the green tip, the M855, went through the 3/8 no problem. Now what about the 1/2 inch? This is the cool part. Almost made it through the 1/2 inch. That is where it hit. This is the backside. There is definitely a very pointed dimple there. I assume that's where the steel core penetrator went through, but it is, I mean, it was just a little bit away from going just straight through that. And that's different than the test that we did on that piece of armor plating that was from the Humvee door up armor stuff, where the green tips actually stopped because they were a little bit slower. And I think that it was a 5/8 plate, but it was some sort of armor plate. But the regular 55 grains went right on through, and I suspect that that's because of the velocity. Today, in this particular case, the AK is going to come away with the win. It was better on soft targets, and it was better on masonry targets, probably because of the bullet having more energy, more frontal area, and it was just better in those regards. The AR-15 was better against our steel targets. Now, does that make any one of these guns better? Can the AK people finally rejoice that they win? And are the AR people going to beat me up in the comments? And if you want, leave it down below. Tell me which one's better. I really don't care. The thing is that both of these guns are fabulous for what they do. They work extremely well for an everyday soldier, for sporting rifles. They're both great in their own ways, and they're awesome because you can customize either one of these to really any extent that you want to. And so even though the AK came away for the winner for today, both of these are a winner no matter what camp that you're in. And to be honest with you, I'm in both camps because I like each one of these equally. Guys, I appreciate you watching today. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button for me. That really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. Hit subscribe if you have not come here before. This is the first video that you've seen, or you've been watching me and you haven't hit subscribe yet, so that we can build this channel, build the revenue, and then I can get more cooler, more expensive stuff to play with and show you guys via the internet. I appreciate y'all watching today. I'll see you in the next one.